It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is the official Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker post-fight review, and to the surprise of many, but not so much to the surprise of me, Joseph Parker winds up upsetting Deontay Wilder. So we're going to dissect that right quickly here. Now, Pops, this is a very big signature win in the career of Joseph Parker, because this is a guy in Parker, he's been champion before, but, he seemed to always let himself down in the big fights against guys like Dillian White and even Anthony Joshua to a degree. What did you make of what you saw from Joseph Parker beating Deontay Wilder?
My biggest problem with Deontay Wilder and his team is that my biggest saying is don't fix it. If it doesn't need to be, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I think the biggest mistake that they made was trying to change the style that Wilder fights, and it cost him the fight. That being said, gotta give flowers to Parker, because you've been telling me for weeks and months that Parker, if he becomes a volume puncher and does it, it's going to be a different Parker, and boy, did he show it tonight.
Absolutely, and when Parker was on the come up, I was a big fan of his. I really liked what I saw from him. I remember like staying up late to watch his fights against Carlos Takam and Razavan Kajanu and all them guys back in the day. And at his best, he was a very, very entertaining combination puncher. Didn't have the size of a modern day heavyweight, but had the speed and the combination punching that would really be worth anybody's time and attention to watch, right? He let himself down on some big fights. But, I did genuinely feel like even in that Joe Joyce fight where he got stopped, I thought that with Andy Lee, he had maybe turned a bit of a corner. He'd actually began to unlock some of that potential he had in his career. And you know what's crazy, right? The whole week, everybody kept asking me, BT, who do you think's going to win the fight? Wilder or Parker? And, the whole week, I kind of bought into the Wilder hype and hoopla. I kind of did buy into the Wilder and drink the Wilder Kool-Aid. But then as the fight, as we went live and as I had to really sit there and break down the fight, I started thinking about myself. I said, you know what? Nah, man. Joseph Parker is a better heavyweight than Deontay Wilder. I thought that back then when they were champion, because I remember back in the day when Parker was the WBO champion and Wilder was the WBC champion and AJ had the other belts, people used to always say Parker was the weak link, and I never thought that. I thought that Parker was better than Wilder. And there's a reason why Wilder didn't fight him when they were supposed to, when they both had the belts. And it was shown tonight. From the Wilder side of things, Malik Scott obviously is trying to get Wilder boxing more on a disciplined game plan. But let's be real, man. Like in life, and this is becoming a very common saying in all these fights and in my life, which is you gotta do what got you to the dance.
That's right.
And Wilder is not a conventional fighter. Malik, he was trying to box like Malik Scott and circle the ring, and what it did was it actually allowed Parker to get on the front foot, put Wilder on a position that he didn't like on his back foot. Parker was able to actually, off that front foot, vary his jab from the head to the chest and to the body. And then, when he got in position, the one punch he kept throwing, and it really put Wilder on his back foot and made things real hectic for him, was that overhand right.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. You can't change something if it's not broken. If you got it back a certain way, you don't want to change that. And I think that the biggest mistake, in my opinion, is that Malik Scott, no disrespect to him, he tried to change Wilder to the fighter that he's not. As the fight went on in the later rounds, Wilder tried to change himself to the old self.
Boxed it more in straight lines off the front foot,
And exactly. And what happened is it was too late in the game to do that now. Hopefully hold the head up high, Alabama and Wilder, but the night belongs, like my son said. He says if Parker goes out there, throw combinations.
He fought to his potential, he fought the way he's supposed to. And that's
he's a young buck. He's
30. I didn't even realize till during the week that he was 31 years old. And to be honest with you guys, it's actually satisfying. Like I know a lot of people may say, "Oh, BT being a Wilder hater." It's not even about Wilder. It's more so about Parker, man. Like I'd watch these fights of his, like against Dillian White. Like that one really irked me because I knew he was better than Dillian White, and he waited too long to throw his hands. He hurt him in the 12th round, couldn't get him out of there. I watched Joseph Parker for so long, like going back to when he fought Takam and even when he won the title against Reed. And I just felt like he was better than he was showing, and now you had him in here as a heavy underdog against a guy that some people would claim to be the hardest punching heavyweight in history. And not only did he neutralize Wilder, outbox Wilder, outfight Wilder, outthink Wilder, the roles reversed.
And outpunched him.
Yes, outpunched him. The roles reversed. Although Wilder had the reputation for being the bigger puncher, it was the guy that had the more intelligent feints, the guy that had the more intelligent jab, the fighter that had the better chin. Wilder treated Parker like Parker was Wilder, and that's the crazy thing about it. And I'm so glad before the fight, like just before the fight started, and I was breaking it down. I said, you know what? No, we're not picking Wilder. We're picking Joseph Parker.
Yeah, and that being said, on the other side of the coin, I will always give respect to Wilder. He's been humble for boxing. He's a good name, for a good example for others, and I think.
Go ahead.
No, and I think that Wilder will learn from this, and he'll realize you can't just how you say change from.
I don't know if he'll learn from it. He's 38.
Okay,
there's not too much time to learn.
Okay, what I'm saying,
the door is closing.
Right,
on his
what
career.
I'm saying, he will not differentiate from how he got there. If he's still gonna fight, and if he's not, hold your head up high, Wilder. Stand up, Alabama, and congratulations to Parker and New Zealand.
Yeah, and I'll say this about Wilder, and I don't mean this like people may think this is being disrespectful, but it's just my perspective and my personal opinion. I think Deontay Wilder is one of boxing's greatest overachievers because this is a guy that does everything wrong. This is a guy, as far as technical wise, got away with it for so long. I think he had a very, very well managed career by Shelly Finkel. I got to give him credit as a guy who wants to get into boxing management one day. I got to give Shelly Finkel credit. He managed Wilder masterfully to where he had 10 title defenses, made a bunch of money, and set his family up for life. So I can't ever fault him for that. But Wilder, I've always thought was not quite as like he's worth our time. He always is worth the watch. So I'm never gonna discredit him for that. But as far as how good he is, how great he is, I really have never quite been all the way there. People thinking that he was this on the level of certain fighters, and look, he fought the two guys in his era that he fought that were champions. Tyson Fury lost to him. Tyson Fury's sparring partner Joseph Parker lost to him. Those are the only guys in his era that actually held world titles, because he didn't fight Klitschko, he never fought AJ, he didn't even fight Charles Martin. Okay, he didn't fight that guy.
Wow.
The only guys that he fought from his era who had world titles, he didn't beat them. That's not me hating. That is the stone cold truth. And if you Wilder fanboys can't live with it, then that's your cross, not mine. Joseph Parker, I think tonight showed that there is still plenty of fight left in there. And Joseph Parker fought finally. I waited for it so long. He had that one night. I talk about it so often in boxing, where these are the kind of things I live for, where a guy could have a certain narrative his entire career, but he has that one night where he puts it together. He may never have another night as grand as this one, but it's a night that we'll never forget.
And real quickly, I would just say this. Back to what I said with my other comments. If it doesn't need to be, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I did totally disagree with, because everything boxing is also mental also.
Yep.
So you sat there and you named the Bronze Bomber Dr. Sleeper. All these
Dr. Sleep, yeah. He named himself that though.
Okay, he named
himself that.
Regardless, all these changes and all this shit actually cost him the fight. But tonight belongs all the flowers that we will say here.
Last thing to close the video out. Who do you want to see Joseph Parker fight next, ideally? You get your way. Who's Joseph Parker fighting next?
I don't care if he fights I want him to fight Hrgovic, him or Joshua to fight Hrgovic.
Okay. Well,
because both of them guys, I don't know if Joshua got an offer, but they both, in my opinion, I think is the most avoided fighter. Parker was one of them that avoided him, so let's get it done.
Yeah, that's probably not happening because Joshua and with Wilder losing, Joshua is probably gonna fight Hrgovic for that title, the IBF title next year. I'll tell you one fight I like to see for Joseph Parker, and y'all can let me know. How about Zhang?
Zhang's been bullshitting, making excuses.
I like the Zhang fight,
but Zhang knows, and he's a Chinese, and he knows all the philosopher and all this bullshit and discipline. He knows the reality is he fought Hrgovic on a bad night. And
that's true. But we're talking about Parker.
Okay, Parker. Yeah, but I would like, however it turns out, I'm gonna tell you straight up right now, and I'll make this prediction right now. Hrgovic's gonna be the top dog.
And I would definitely concur with that. But listen, Joe Parker, it's your night, brother. Credit to him.
New Zealand, stand up.
He's fought so many fantastic fighters over his career. And this is a fight that I wanted to see many, many years ago. This was a fight where I really feel like people were slagging off Joseph Parker, and I'm glad all these years later we get sweet, sweet vindication. So,
a young buck.
Leave your comments down below. What did you guys think? Who should Joseph Parker fight next? And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.